the best rugby channel. Peter Rugby Peter, because he's a keeper.
If you want to add an aspect to that, you are on track. You correctly look wrong. You are not representing yourself.
Rugby Sun by Blue, 2019 versus Shoot. Here of the channel, a start easy back. I hope you all subscribe to the best rugby channel. Peter Rugby Peter, because he's a keeper.
If you want to add an aspect to that, you are on track. You correctly look wrong. You are not representing yourself.
Rugby Sun by Blue, 2019 versus Shoot. Here of the channel, a start easy back. I hope you all subscribe to the best rugby channel. Peter Rugby Peter, because he's a keeper.
If you want to add an aspect to that, you are on track. You correctly look wrong. You are not representing yourself.
Rugby Sun by Blue, 2019 versus Shoot. Here of the channel, a start easy back. I hope you all subscribe to the best rugby channel. Peter Rugby Peter, because he's a keeper.
If you want to add an aspect to that,
Hi all, welcome to the Aftermath Peter Rugby Eater live stream. It's good to be back doing the live stream to engage with the rugby loving people of the rugby universe. It's good to be here, it's good to be in. So today will be once again a relaxing and a chilled live stream session. Let me just share the agenda with you that we want to do tonight. So the agenda for tonight's program is just a quick preview of the Six Nations games that occurred the weekend past. Ireland versus France, Wales versus Scotland, England versus Italy. Then a preview for the Bulls versus Stormers game. Now this game is being touted as the most important game of the rugby calendar concerning the home derbies. Stormers taking on the Bulls at Loftus. We all know what occurred previously, but that's on the agenda. And also for the Bulls and Stormers, and for the live stream, I'll be having a guest that will join me on the stream. And we're also going to discuss briefly the Lions versus the Sharks game that will be taking place in Ellis Park, or at Emirates Ellis Park, on Saturday as well. So let's first start off with the Ireland versus France game. So Ireland is proving to be the best team in the world. Let's get this thing right here. So Ireland is proving to be the best team in the world, the number one test rugby nation in the world. For me, coming from the Southern Hemisphere, it feels weird to have a European team dominating like this. I think the last time a European team dominated was when Clive Woodward's England toured New Zealand, where they beat New Zealand, they beat Australia. I think they beat South Africa as well. And they went on to win the 2003 Rugby World Cup in Australia. So that was the last time that a European team has actually done this. Okay. So I would like to look at the stats for for the Ireland versus France game. Let me just bring up the stats here. Okay. To see. Okay. So the Ireland versus sorry, that's the England. There we go. Yeah. So the Ireland versus France game was a very entertaining game to watch. I think we saw the best of European or Six Nations rugby being on display, where Ireland dominated the French in almost all aspects of the game. So Ireland, they managed to score 4 tries. France, they only scored 1 try. The meters run was basically the same. Possession was almost the same, 54% for Ireland, 46% for France. Territory, this is where Ireland shone and stood out, where they dominated the French in the kicking game and playing most of the game in the French half of the field. Defending wise, both France was actually better on defense, even though they stood off 4 tries, where Ireland, they actually had a tackle success rate of 79% compared to the French's 91%. Scrums, there weren't many scrums in the game. So that shows you that there weren't many handling errors and knock-ons and things like that. And the penalties conceded between the two countries. So in Test match rugby, it's always good for a country to concede less than 10 penalties in a game. Here we have Ireland conceding only 8 penalties and France conceding only 7 penalties, which speaks a lot about the discipline of these two teams. So here we have Ireland winning France. I know that there was one issue that everybody complained about, and that was the issue concerning James Lowe and his try. So James Lowe, so people speak about the try that James Lowe scored. It's clear to see his foot was in touch, and people are complaining the referee is so bad, this and that. However, even if the ref didn't allow the try to Ireland, Ireland still would have won the game. So yeah, so people, they've got their feelings hurt by that try being scored. But James Lowe, he scored a very good try. The second game that was played in the Six Nations was also a very entertaining game, and that was Scotland versus Wales. So we all know that Wales, they fired their coach a few months ago, and they reappointed Warren Gatland. Warren Gatland is trying to rebuild the Welsh team. However, they came up against a Scottish team that is settled, they basically have the structures in place. They have a very good coach. They have very good South African players in their team. And Scotland, they dominated the Welsh. A quick look at the stats. Scotland, they scored 5 tries. Wales scored 1 try. The territory or the possession was 50-50. Territory, Wales, they played most of the game in Scotland's half. Defense-wise, Scotland, they were very strong on defense. Wales, they were very poor on defense. And set pieces, scrums won. The Scottish, they won only 2 of the 5 scrums they had, and Wales, they won all 3 of the scrums. And penalties, here you can see, and this is where Wales lost the game. Wales conceded 17 penalties in this game against Scotland. Like I previously said, is that in Test match rugby, a team should basically try to only concede less 10 or less penalties in a game. And here we have Wales conceding 17 penalties in a game and Scotland 11 penalties in a game. So Scotland, they beat England as well. They beat the English as well in the first game. But now Scotland's test will be against the Irish and against the French. If Scotland can beat Ireland or beat France or do well against the Irish and the French, then Scotland will be in a very good position going into the Rugby World Cup next year, later in the year. Bearing in mind, South Africa, Scotland, and Ireland, they are all in one pool at the Rugby World Cup. So that's gonna make things a little bit interesting. To me, that's the pool of death. One of those teams won't progress beyond the group stages. Then the final match of the weekend that occurred on the Sunday was the England versus Italy match. So here we have England coming off a loss. They lost against the Scottish, and they came out to beat a Italy team that was full of confidence. We had a very good game against Wales, but they ended up losing against England. So England, they scored 5 tries, Italy 2. Italy, they dominated the running meters. They had ball more in hand. The possession was the same, almost 50-50, 48% to England, 52% to Italy. Territory, obviously, England having a stronger kicking game and playing more in the Italian half of the field. Set pieces was equal. We've got England winning 7 of their 9 scrums, Italy 6 of their 9 scrums. Then we had the penalties, and here as well, we have Italy conceding 14 penalties on the day compared to England's 7 penalties. So, in my opinion, I think that England, they made a huge mistake to fire Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones was building towards the World Cup. He was trying out a couple of things. He was trying out players, and the English media, the English public, they did not have any patience with Eddie Jones. But I think, in my opinion, they made a huge mistake to actually get rid of Eddie Jones. Big mistake, and I don't foresee England doing well at the coming Rugby World Cup in France. And I foresee probably Australia versus England in a quarterfinals, or probably semi-final. I mean, not the semi-finals, but probably quarterfinals, where Eddie Jones is going to hammer England with his Australian team. So that's just a quick wrap on the weekend Six Nations games, where we had these teams taking on each other. Everybody's preparing for the World Cup. Everybody's looking forward to the World Cup, and things are heating up very nicely. So while we all are here to speak about the Bulls and the Stormers game this coming weekend, a very huge game. Now, for this discussion, I've got a guest, but before I bring my guest on, I want to play you guys something. Allow me to play something just to whet your appetite for this weekend's game. So here we go. Enjoy this video, guys. Very short video.
North-South derbies are what it's all about.
Because all we saw when you play the Bulls here at Loftus, especially, it's red. You want to take them out. You want to chop them. You want to, sort of, I wouldn't say kill them, but play with that mindset that you want to hurt them.
I think it's a gremlin here. Just give me a second. Sorry, guys. Apologies for that. Here we go. Sorry. Here we go.
Points, we got 40 points. We want to win the conference. We're going to beat them this weekend.
Okay, the Bulls are building
It's a
up.
final between undoubtedly the two top teams in the Super 14 this
It's been
year.
a long time coming, and it's the biggest rivalry. Here comes that same man with a strong wire, and he's got the second goal. He's left Joe Pearson for that. How good was that?
Okay, so the Bulls, they are sharpening their arrows and spears for the Stormers. But let me bring on our guest, Mr. Kyle.
Good evening, everybody. What an intro. Thank you for the opportunity, Peter, to speak on behalf of the...
Sorry, Kyle, I think that your video is not on. I can't see your face.
Oh, my video is on.
It's blank on my side.
Can you see me now? No?
I can't see you.
Okay, let me just check settings.
Some glitches. There
And
we
now?
go.
Can you
There we
okay.
go. 100%.
So as you can see,
Yes.
I tried to create a nice bluish ambience. So because Loftus is gonna be blue on Saturday. Support the best team in South Africa. As you can see there at the back, blue bullet.
No, I
But
can see, I can see, I can see, I can see that you're all kitted in your blue. But Kyle, just give us a short introduction of your rugby, what team you support. Obviously, it's obvious you support the Bulls, but just give us a short introduction, who you are, and yeah.
so my name is Kyle. I'm a big rugby fan. I support the best team in South Africa, which is the Blue Bulls, and I support obviously the best team in the world, which is the Springboks. I've grew up watching rugby, and my love for rugby has been always there. So it's just I don't know how to explain it, but I just love rugby so much. I actually don't play rugby. I just love watching it and love. I just love it. And the Bulls, my love for the Bulls is on another level, and that's me in a nutshell.
100%. Look, this channel is for people who love rugby. Yeah, we're just loving rugby people over here. So,
Mm.
Kyle, as you know, and I can see that you're a very big Bull supporter. I'm a big Stormer supporter. So this week we had Jake White coming back from his illness. He was out of action for a couple of weeks. The team they didn't do too well in Jake White's absence, and therefore this weekend's game, Saturday's game, is a very important game for the Blue Bulls. At the moment, the Blue Bulls are sitting, I think, fourth on the URC log,
Yes.
and the Stormers are sitting second on the URC log. So, what is your feel for this matchup between the Bulls and the Stormers this coming Saturday? How do you see
My
the game going?
I see it is going to be as the previous four games in the URC. It's going to be a colossal um, encounter. It's going to be tight. It's going to be one definitely up front, which I think is going to be a great battle. The Stormers, okay, it's going to be tough without the Springbok front row. The two best props that they have is Kutsi and Malherbe. It's going to be tough without them, but I think Brock Harris and Neethling Fushia, they're not too bad, eh? And it's going to be tough for our young props to fight against them and to battle in scrum time firstly, and then mauls and all of those. Because I believe the game is, they always say game is won up front by your forwards, and the backs decide how much you win by. So
That's
that's going
right.
to be a great one, and to watch the up front, the forward battle, the tight five, and then also there's few key battles that we're looking out for, like individual battles, maybe like Dion Fourie versus Marco van Staden, two of the great fetchers in the game at the moment, in form, both of them. So a few other with the Springboks out, you're not sure what the team's looking like. And John Dobson is hiding some things up his sleeve with Mani Lubbock and Achiva's availability. He's not revealing it, if they're injured or not. So we're not sure. We must wait till tomorrow to see the teams. And then
Yeah,
also, the best thing about this encounter is the battle between Jake and Dobson. I think they're good
yeah.
friends, and it's gonna be good to see.
No, most definitely. Look, before this live stream, I was searching on social media, but I didn't see the team sheets. Did you perhaps see the team sheets for the weekend?
No, they trying to hide it as much as possible, so they leave it for Friday,
Yeah,
the day before.
it's crazy because usually on a Thursday, both teams would have announced who's going to
Mm.
play, but I haven't seen anything. However, I can for sure I know that they said that the Springboks are still resting. I think
Yeah,
so. The Stormers team going to Loftus won't be the team that will probably include Damon Willemse, Kitsov, and those guys. However, the Stormers team they will be without the Springboks, but I've noticed that in the last couple of games when they had I would say not the second string team, But I would say the team that is waiting in the wings now, obviously now, or behind the Springbok players, they did quite well for the Stormers. The game they lost was the game against, I think it was Cardiff up in Wales, and they lost the one game in the European Champions Cup was against Clermont away. But otherwise, the Stormers, they were actually quite good with the plays they had. Well, on the Bulls side, like I previously said, is that Jake White was obviously out with his illnesses. And the Bulls don't have that much Springboks that's being rested. And I think one worry for the Bulls is just the players coming through the form they're currently in. And that's why I think that Saturday's game is so vitally important for the Bulls. And I think they're currently 10 points behind the Stormers. And that's actually something that they have to overcome in this game. What I also heard is this weekend is that, or during the week, was that for the last couple of games at Loftus, the Bulls, obviously they're supposed to be used to altitude and all those things. But the away team, even teams from Europe, they actually ended the games very strongly against the Bulls. But as usual, a game against the Stormers and the Bulls, history is put aside. It's a new game. It's new conditions, and the guys they're gonna go at each other. It'll be a physical game. I know you and I, we were together at the Stormers Bulls game in Cape Town, and before that game, everybody thought that the Bulls is gonna win the Stormers, or even the Stormers. They came up what they played. I also think one big difference between the Stormers and the Bulls is that the Stormers, they have identified that to counter-attack is actually the way you should play in this competition in the URC. Whereas the Lions, the Sharks, and the Bulls, they still tend to kick ball away when they actually should run the ball up and look for space out wide. And that's why I think that's where John Dobson actually have something above the other coaches in South Africa is his ability to adapt and having the attacking mindset and flair. So, Cal, can I ask you, what is your prediction for this game?
Prediction.
Yeah.
So it's Loftus, so definitely the Bulls to win. It won't be like 14 points. So I think will win by like 7 points or 10 points. Let's say 10 points. We'll win by 10 points. It's on Loftus, so I don't see us losing. And especially with Jay coming back, the boys will be having something extra to play for.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, my prediction is for the Stormers to win by 10 points. So it's the exact opposite of yours. So Stormers, in my opinion, Stormers to win by 10 points. I think it could be very tight. Actually, it won't be a game that will be scored. I don't think the Stormers will score 4 tries for a bonus point. They might score 1 or 2 tries, but I think it's going to be a very tight game. So yeah, then that's now the Stormers and the Bulls. Let's quickly speak about the Sharks and the Lions. So to me, the Lions, they began the URC season very good. I think they were at one time, they won 5 games and lost 2 games at some point in the season.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they fell away, and they're now at the bottom section of the log. And to me, the Lions are actually very disappointing currently. They could do better. But on the other hand, the Sharks is like 2 different teams. When the Sharks Springboks are there, then they are a world-class team. Then they can beat anyone in the competition. However, the guys coming behind the Springboks, they are nowhere to be seen. You probably heard during the week that Fassi is hopefully or possibly joining the Stormers next season, whereas Mane Liebok will probably be leaving the Stormers, going to France.
Is coming back.
That's right. Yes, the idea is actually to do some sort of swap between Mane Liebok and Warwick Galan. But yeah, I hope that won't happen. Really, I hope that Manny stays, and that Manny stays, and Fassi can come to the can come to the Stormers. But back to the Sharks and to the Lions. So the Sharks, like I said, is that they in the during the week they mentioned that the Springboks resting protocol are in place this week. So I'm doubtful that the Sharks will be fielding a lot of the Springboks. If they will be fielding the Springboks, I'll be very surprised. But I don't think that they will field the Springboks against the Lions, because obviously they will see the Lions as being like a soft target.
Mm.
Where hopefully the second string team can beat the Lions. What's your opinion on this game between the Lions and the Sharks?
I think the Lions, these problems in the camp a bit, because I saw they wanted to sack the coach or so, but I'm not sure. But I think Sharks definitely should win it on paper. But after watching that game of Sharks and Stormers, I'm not too sure about Sharks. The second string team, they look like you say without the Springboks. Yeah, it's like there's no gel. They're not clicking, and they don't have that power that Bongi Bonambi brings, that Eben Itzebeth brings. So I think, but they do have guys like Renil Hugo and Gebran Grobla that is quite capable of doing the jobs. But it's just, I'm not sure what. But I think they'll probably maybe have one of them like Ox or Thomas, one of the Springboks. But they should still have a strong team because they have Janssen van Rensburg and that guy, Ben Tapawai, which is international experience guys that have been kept at international level before. So
Yeah.
I think they should run away with the Lions. But with the Lions, you can never say, and they're playing at home also. So
Yep.
Ellis Park, Lions, Ellis Park, they'll always have something to play for.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think also some of the young talent coming through from the Lions, they are very good.
Definitely.
It's just they need to. I think the Lions need to click, man. That's the whole thing.
Mm.
Tactical wise, I think they've got something good going on. Tactical wise, it's just for them to implement it and to finish off the opportunities. And what's your prediction for this game between the Lions and the Sharks?
I think Sharks by like 20 points. Sharks by
20
20.
points.
20, yes. I feel like with the players that they have, they can. I mean, like, who's they? Buta Chamberlain, them, and those guys. Johannes Potgieter, that youngster, it came from the Bulls. He's playing unbelievable on the wing there for them. Like, they have the guys that can tear those teams apart. It's just on the day if they can click, etc. So I
Yes.
think they can destroy them by 20.
Yeah. Look, the thing is, yeah, to me personally, 20 points a little bit hiding. It's hiding.
But what do you
Look,
expect
I
as
will.
Lions?
Right?
What do you expect as Lions?
Yeah, look, I think I will go for, let's say 12 points for the Sharks. I will respect the Lions a little bit, seeing that they're playing at home and seeing that they're playing at altitude, and it all depends what team the Sharks are bringing out. Look, if the Sharks bring out the majority of the Springboks, then I think the 20 points is a fair margin. 20 points plus can be a very easy hiding for the Lions. But I would say 12 points for the Lions. Let's go to the chat. I see a couple of chats coming through. Here is something from, let's just see here. Top Notch 2.0. Can't wait for the North-South battle. Most definitely. I think we all can't wait for it. Then I see a very famous person commented here, Mr. Cameron Hood. People go check out Mr. Cameron Hood's music on Apple Music, Spotify, all the music apps. You will find him there. Very good guitarist. We've got here Patrick. I assume that's your dad.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. We've got here Ronald, South Africa, South, all the way out, Stormers for life. Yes, Stormers for life. Ja, ons maak hom blou. Comment here from Rian van Wyk, Stormers by 5. Yes, Rian. I think that's also a fair a fair prediction there. Then Mr. Dale Isaacs, Kyle, yes, definitely. Always wise. That's why it's on the program, Dale. And I think you must also come on the program one day. I know that you're also a very big rugby supporter. And Dale again, are the Springboks back this weekend for the fixtures?
Nope.
Yeah, look, Dale, I think what I've heard of this weekend is that the Springbok resting protocols are still in place. However, I think some teams, they can release 1 or 2 players, but in general, the Springbok protocols are in place. Yeah, so Kyle, I want to thank you very much for joining me on this live stream. I think we can do this again.
Pleasure, thank you. Definitely,
Yeah,
Mr. Peter.
we can do this again. I think there will be many more games where the Bulls and the Stormers will take each other on, even the Springboks in the Rugby World Cup.
World Cup.
we can,
I'm excited for that.
Yes. Oh man, this World Cup is going to be something else. You know what? Before we switch off, let me just take a look quickly at the Rugby World Cup rankings. Let's take a quick look at the Rugby World Cup rankings. World Rugby. Rankings.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically there's the latest rankings. So like I previously said, Ireland, they're running away with this thing. They got 91.33 points. France second. New Zealand, South Africa are very close. They're separated by 0.01. Then we have Scotland. So I think the top 4 teams are basically running away with this log or with this world rankings. Then we've got Scotland behind the Springboks, and we've got England, Australia, Argentina, Wales, Japan. To think of it, we've got these 4 teams on the same side of the Rugby World Cup draw. So only 2 of these teams will progress to the semi-finals in the Rugby World Cup, which is actually very interesting. Whereas on the other side, we've got Scotland, England, Australia, Argentina, Wales, which are being seen currently as being much weaker than the top 4 teams in Ireland, France, New Zealand, and South Africa. But it promises to be a very, very interesting World Cup. I can't wait for it. But we can see what happens for that. But Carl, thank you very much for last words.
I think it's gonna be a repeat from 2007 in France. New Zealand is gonna knock France is gonna knock New Zealand out, and then England's gonna knock France out, and we get each other again in the final.
Yeah, I hope so. But the only thing in the equation there that must be cancelled is Ireland. I think Ireland.
Yeah,
definitely. Very dangerous.
But they like to peak before the World Cup, so by the time the World Cup comes, the only team that I'm thinking of is a really dark horse is Scotland. The way they're playing at the moment with Finn Russell and those South African boys scoring tries every week in the Six Nations.
Yes,
those guys they look like a team to beat.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think Scotland, they're also very dangerous, but I would like to see what they do against France and Ireland in the Six Nations. Then I will give my verdict on the Scottish. But Cal, thank you very much for joining on this live stream.
Sir.
Appreciate your time, and we'll chat again.
Thank you. Right. Thank you to everyone listening. Appreciate it. Hopefully I can be here on soon again. Always good talking rugby.
There we go.
All of the best for Saturday.
Yeah,
hopefully
thank you,
this team comes on top.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Right. Yes. So that's basically the discussion about the upcoming URC games for the South African franchises. Guys, for those who are here, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for spending time watching this live stream. Thank you for those who participated in the chats. We know there's always a chilled live stream, nothing hectic, nothing too heavy, just chill. I appreciate everybody being here. And guys, if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, and I'll catch you guys on my next video. Bye.
breaking your promise. You are not representing yourself.
Rugby in my blood, 2019 versus shoot. Here of the channel, a start easy back. I hope you all subscribe to the best rugby channel. Feature Rugby Eater because he's a keeper. Because
If you want to add respect to that, you are unhappy. You're breaking your promise. You are not representing yourself.
Rugby in my blood, 2019 versus shoot. Here of the channel, a start easy back. I hope you all subscribe to the best rugby channel. Feature Rugby Eater because he's a keeper. Because
If you want to add respect to that, you are unhappy. You're breaking your promise. You are not representing yourself.
Rugby in my blood, 2019 versus shoot. Here of the channel, a start easy back. I hope you all subscribe to the best rugby channel. Feature Rugby Eater because he's a keeper. Because
If you want to add respect to that, you are unhappy. You're breaking your promise. You are not representing yourself.
Rugby in my blood, 2019 versus shoot.